In the small, serene town of Valleymont, nestled between rolling hills and verdant meadows, the old St. Mary's Chapel stood as a beacon of faith and hope. Its towering steeple, visible from miles around, was not only a landmark but a testament to the enduring belief of its small congregation. Among them was Eleanor, a young woman whose earnest eyes and kind smile belied the tumult that raged within her soul. Eleanor had returned to Valleymont only a year ago, after striving for a decade in the bustling city to make a life she thought she wanted. Yet, amidst the ceaseless hum of the urban sprawl, her heart yearned for the peace and simplicity of her hometown. Her return, however, was not merely a retreat from the chaos of city life, but a quest for redemption and a deeper connection with her faith. As autumn arrived, painting the town in shades of amber and gold, Eleanor found herself walking the familiar path to St. Mary's each morning, drawn by a need to fill the emptiness that city life had deepened. The chapel was often quiet in the early hours, save for the gentle murmurs of prayer from early risers and the soft footsteps of Father Thomas, the parish priest, who was preparing for the day. One particular morning, as Eleanor knelt in prayer, her eyes fixed on the glowing stained glass that depicted the parable of the lost sheep, she heard the main door creak open. An elderly man stepped in, his face marked by years of hardships, yet eyes glowing with an unspoken knowledge. He sat quietly in the pew behind her, seemingly lost in his thoughts. After the morning service, as Eleanor was about to leave, the old man approached her. "Excuse me, miss," he began, his voice as fragile as his frame. "I couldn't help but notice how troubled you seem. May I share a story with you?" Intrigued and somewhat comforted by his kind demeanor, Eleanor nodded. They sat back down, and the man, introducing himself as Mr. Daniels, began his tale. Many years ago, he had been a successful businessman, wealthy beyond need and respected in his community, but his heart was never at peace. One stormy night, he found himself at the doors of St. Mary's, desperate and devoid of hope. It was then that he had an encounter that changed his life forever. A young woman, much like you, sat here, praying fervently. She was battling demons I could never fully understand, but in her expression I saw a mirror of my own soul's turmoil, Mr. Daniels recounted. She noticed me and simply said, "Even in our darkest times, He is with us. We are never truly lost." These words, simple yet profound, began my journey towards real wealth, wealth of the spirit and heart. Moved by his story, Eleanor felt a warmth spread through her heart. The old man's words echoed her own unvoiced thoughts and struggles. In his story, she saw her reflection, a reflection of loss and seeking, of hope and renewal. As they parted, Mr. Daniels left her with a parting thought. We're all walking each other home in ways we seldom understand. Each word lifted a bit more of the weight she had been carrying. Eleanor spent many more mornings in the chapel, often sharing and hearing more stories from fellow parishioners, each adding stitches to the tapestry of her faith and community spirit. Years later, Eleanor took up the mantle of community service in Valleymont, inspired by her conversations with Mr. Daniels and others. She realized that the true essence of her faith was not just in seeking personal solace, but in fostering a community where everyone could find light, especially in their darkest times. St. Mary's Chapel remained her sanctuary, a place where anyone with a burdened soul could find peace, and perhaps, like Eleanor, a new direction in the luminescent dawn light that streamed through its ancient stained glass, telling stories of faith, hope, and eternal love.